I choose perception in educational psychology perspective is more on the ability to use sensory cues to guide motor activity. It ranges from sensory stimulation through cue selection to translation, and is from Simpson, 1972. Yeah. So basically, why emotions and perception is significant? Because of, according to the roles of emotion and perception in the game design process, is covered to the 6 structures elements in the game structure. Okay, it's a goal, feedback, rules, interaction, representation, or story and challenge. Okay, the roles of emotion. The keywords here is to stimulate. You have to design games to stimulate people's emotions. Okay, to revitalize, to stir, to induce, to arouse the people. When the people arouse, they will stimulate, the emotion has been stimulated. And then it goes to the roles of perception. So the perception of the players will identify. They will identify, they will describe, they will differentiate, they will distinguish. So this is why I say that the important elements for a game designer to look at, okay, to apply, okay, and then to implement in their design process. So I come up with a model, right? Emotional design model for games. So let me in brief, right? Regards to the emotional design model for games. Okay, they got 3 levels. Okay, which is the framework. Okay, it's an affective domain for emotions, psychomotor domain for perceptions, and cognitive domain for intellectual process. So this will complement the player-centric game design. Player-centric means that is purposely to look into the players, what players want, the desire of the players, right? So the roles of emotions is covered from the emotion on the visceral level to the visceral design, and then it goes to the visual, and visual is more on the appearance of the games. So they have to look into that, and then to see the audio, right, and the gameplay, which is involved the haptic part, yeah. And then the psychomotor domain is about the perceptions roles under the behavior level. Okay, so they have to implement their behavioral design regarding to the player's vision, right, player's auditory, and the haptic. So these things, these 2 domains, affective domain, psychomotor domains, the emotion and perceptions, this is covered inside when inside games, is a game play, okay, when they're playing games, right? But on the cognitive domain is considered after they are playing games, which is I'm not really covered this domain because I more focus on the reflections of the people when they are playing games. So the cognitive domain is more on the intellectual process, which is the forward is towards to the reflective design, reflective level or reflective design, and then the result is more on the rationalization of the games. So I cover up only 2 domains only. So here I can say that emotions and perceptions will make players contentment, and they will have fun if we consider these 2 elements very important in game design process. Okay, and then for the future work, okay, the creation of the I would like to create something game design usability instrumental test based on the roles of emotion and perception, which will help the game designer to design games, guide the game designer when they want to design games, they have to look into the rules of emotion of the people, of the players, and also the perception of the players. Okay, so this is the conceptual framework we'll have for all the game designers, and then it will help for the players also to have fun. Okay, so thank you very much. Kamsahamnida. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Shahrel. Do you have any question about that? Please raise your hand. Please.
Thank you. My question is, okay, the computer game design is very important to me. But I would like to one time more explanation about how to make fun or to make fun in computer game design. How to make that? Please explain one more time.
Okay. All right. Okay. Like I said, right. There's two keywords here. Key solution for the how to make players have to have fun, because we have to cover the emotion of the players and the perception of the players. These two things. There's emotion and perception. Because emotion will stimulate the players. Okay? And then when the players have been stimulated, okay, and then they will use their perception from their 5 senses. Okay, now but in games only 3 senses involved. Okay, for example, the vision, okay, auditory, hearing, okay, and touch, or I call it haptic, how they're moving their hands, their gesture. Okay, so this is the most important thing to look at, right? Okay, so that's why I put here. Okay, I move over here. Okay, for emotions, we have to look into the visceral level of the people. Visceral level is very automatic, pre-wired. Okay, when you see something something beautiful, right? Something beautiful or something danger or something, your eyes will track, right? So the game designer have to look into that. Okay, it's not only the eyes, the visions, the visual, right? Also the hearing. That's why I said the visceral is more on the biological process of the people, because they are pre-wired, they are prepared brains. We have a prepared brains. According to Donald Norman, it's prepared brain. Okay, it's a vast repertoire, the stock inside our brain. So we know the danger, we know the beautiful one, we know the something good, something bad. We already know because we have a prepared brain. So we, the game designer, have to manipulate this when they are design games, right? On the visceral level. So the emotion from the visceral level will arouse them to play games and to have fun, right? And then it's not only that; they must be lead their perception, because like I mentioned before, when we are playing games, we are more using our perception. Okay, our vision, our auditory, our haptic, right? From where? From the emotion. Emotion is still stimulate us. That's why I said the two keywords here. The roles of emotion to stimulate the starting point to goes to the roles of perception. Okay, so perception will identify. Okay, you feel right when you feel like something danger, right? Something danger goes first. Okay, maybe from your vision, for example. And then after that, the perception will play roles after that. They will identify. Okay, right. For goals, right? The emotion will still stimulate goals, for example. You want to to win the game. From maybe shooting the enemies. Okay? But what kind of enemies? How you want to how you want to identify the enemies? Okay, there is a lot of enemies in the first-person shooting, for example. So where you want to shoot? In the head, in the body, right? So it start the perception process, but the emotion start to stimulate. For example, if they want to shoot the enemy, for example, the enemy looks like, for example, like me, ball. Okay, right? So they feel something. Oh, this is danger. It's prepared brain. Okay, this is the enemy. This character is bad. I have to shoot them. Okay, but it's will stimulate the perception. The perception will identify. Okay, identify how I want to shoot, where I want to shoot, how I want to kill this character. Okay, that's why I said these two keywords, emotion and perception, is very important to the designer to erect, right? Okay, thank you very much.
Another questions?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
In this paper, you make this model.
Yes.
This model, when we make develop game, we reference this model. Right?
Yes, this is a conceptual model, okay, to help the game designer, okay, to guide them to design games, okay. For example, if they want to, they must have two key elements, emotion and perception. So I bring the emotions, goes to the visceral level. Okay, visceral level is automatic process from our brain, right? So if you want to design, it goes to the visual appearance. What kind of games you want? What kind of concept for the games, for example, right? What kind of character? Okay, if you want to design games more on something beautiful for your target markets for children, for example, right? You must know the visceral level of the children level, right? And then it goes to visceral design. How we want to design, how we want to design the visceral design, right, for the your target market, right? And then it goes to three key elements, three components, right? Visual. What kind of visual will attract the emotion of people? What kind of audio will attract the emotion of the players, right? And then what kind of gameplay, right? So this will stimulate the players to play. Okay? And then it's not enough for me, right? People talk about emotion. I think I can quote one Nicole Lazaro, right? She's mentioned about 4 theories of fun, right? Must have fun, easy fun, trip fun, right? Have fun. David Freeman, right? Is talking about emotioneering. It's how to create the emotion based on story. Okay, and then recently I read one book, Roberto Dillon. He tried to match emotion and instincts of the people. They come up with the 6 to 11 framework. 6 emotion to 11 instincts of the people, right? And then he uses that the NDA framework, right? And it's design and aesthetic, right? So this is what people said about the emotion. But on perception, it's not much. People say it's just say that is for help for the gesture of the people, right? For me, emotions and perception is two partners, two close partners. With the emotion, you will drive the perception. Because, like I said, I mentioned again, when you play games, you are more on. It's you. Perception is dominated you. You using your vision, you using your haptic, you're using your auditory, right? Your hearing, right? But how you want to use that is stimulated from the emotion, right? So this is when the game designer look into this conceptual framework, they will know how to create, how to design games that games which show fun to the people, right? Any questions? Yes.
Yes, okay. Your opinion is some certain thought, but my point is emotion. Emotion is a very personal thing. Right? Okay. For example, is the mother in China. It's not nuancing emotion. It's only logical test, right? And my question is maybe emotion and perception is not key point to make fun. For example, especially in puzzle game. How about that? In my opinion.
Again, I tried to find the keywords there. Can you ask me again?
Yeah. So your target is to make fun in design. Is making emotion as making perception is the main important key, right? And but I think in especially puzzle, do you know puzzle game? Puzzle game.
Puzzle
Yeah.
games, yeah.
Okay. Puzzle game is I think it is not need much emotion.
It's not emotional game.
Yeah.
Why?
That is the require the skill is a logical power. How to make a puzzle question, right? That is not emotional. How about this?
Okay, all right. For me, I'm not into that kind of the puzzle games. As you said, that is a logical games, right? But it also involves the perception, right? Because they have to analyze, right? They have to differentiate, right? Okay. Maybe it goes to the cognitive domain. That's why I put the contributions after, right? So thank you very much for your feedback. Okay, maybe we can talk later about this. Okay, maybe we can use in my further research. Okay, thank you very much.
Final chance. Do you have any questions?
네, 통역 제가 말을 질문하고 싶은데 영어를 못해서 그 발표랑 좀 동떨어진 걸 수도 있는데 게임을 하면은 사용자가 감정을 이렇게 느끼잖아요. 혹시 그러면 그 감정을 느낀다는 거를 어떻게 측정을 하신 그런 걸 좀 알고 계시나요?
When you are playing game, you feel some emotion. How do you distinguish that emotions when you are game design?
Okay.
How do you distinguish that emotion when game player is playing when you are design?
When I design, okay. Okay. When you go to the emotion, right? Okay. Like I said, I put the visceral level. That's the most important thing because I adapt from the Donald Norman framework. Okay. The visceral level is a pre-wired process. It's an immediate process from our primitive brain. Okay. Because it's a biological process. It's a living process, right? People already know what's right? What is beautiful. Okay. If you see something beautiful, right? When you ask other people, right? People will say that that's beautiful. This is common sense, right? Common to the people, right? This is go to the visceral level. Okay, this comes from the prepared brain. Okay, So when you design it on the visceral level process, okay, you have to design which something that stimulates the emotion of people to see this good or not. That's very important, and it's not very easy to do, to design that, right? People say that, okay, people have a different culture, right? They say that this is good, but as a human being, right, you know what is something, what is something bad, what is something dangerous or not, right? Because this is a prepared brain. It's like I said, it's stored inside your brain. That's what we call it body process. Okay, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's move to the presentation.